Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my fully interactive Facebook Live. The interviews, fully interactive interviews with the wedding guru Oscar. We are going live on my Facebook page and in my group. And for the second time in history, we're going live also on YouTube, which is super exciting. We had some response from YouTube last week as well, which is great to see. I've seen a great response to today's interview. I've got a wonderful speaker, guest speaker, and an expert in the industry of groomswear. Laz from Aristocracy London joining us today, and he's got tons of ideas, wedding planning tips, especially for gents who are planning for their outfits at the minute, or maybe just at the start of their wedding planning journey. Obviously, brides to be who are welcome to join us today as well. They can pass all that information over to their fiancés as well. So that's fantastic to see you guys coming. We've got faces popping up. I'm just making sure that we've got plenty of us watching. And I see as we're progressing in the video, there's more and more of you joining us, which is absolutely exciting. And thank you all for joining us today. Again, we are going live using a streaming software called StreamYard. And for that reason, we can actually go live in my Facebook page, in my Facebook group, and also on YouTube today as well. Because we're using this third-party streaming software called StreamYard, if you wanted to share any of your comments or questions today, make sure that you follow the little link right above us now to give permission to StreamYard to share your name up on the screen. If you decided not to do that, which is perfectly fine, don't worry, there's no pressure to do that. Please make sure that you comment with your name before any questions or comments so that both Laz and I can address you by name today as well. Super exciting today, guys. If you are joining us live right now, make sure you say hello in the comments below. Tell us your name, tell us where you're coming from, and what stage you're at with your wedding planning. If you have organized men's suits for your wedding, we would love to find out a little bit more, learn a little bit more about your wedding plans as well. And like I say, in all of my Facebook Live interviews, the more questions, the more engagement we've got from you, the more interactive and informative we can make it for you as well. So we're highly encouraging you guys to ask questions as we're going through this session today. All the questions can be popped in the comment box below, as you see on the screen right now, and we will try to answer as many of your questions as possible in this live session. It's a one-off opportunity for you guys to speak with Laz. Laz has kindly agreed to join us today with his fantastic brand of luxury suits from London. He's actually supplying throughout the UK, and if you decided to potentially consider suits from Aristocracy London, he has kindly offered for a discount for couples who work with me as well. So there's just a bit of a perk that we've got for you today as well. Just making sure that there's plenty of us here. And just repeating for those of you who are joining us right now, we are going live in my Facebook page and in the group and in YouTube as well. If you've got any questions or comments, make sure you pop them in the comment box below. And if you wanted to share your name up on the screen, make sure that you give permission to Facebook and StreamYard to share your name as well. Perfect. I'm just making sure that everything works. We are definitely live. Fantastic. Grant, I'm not going to delay it anymore. We're 4 minutes into this live session, so I'm just going to get started and introduce the session today. So just to give you a little bit of an introduction of an overview about what's happening today, we will start with an introduction. So that's just about to happen in just a moment, and we're kind of halfway through this process already. And we will then go into the official interview where I will introduce Laz to you, and we will go through questions I have pre-organized for him. So it's an exciting script of questions, but we highly encourage questions from you guys because we can make it relevant and actually help you with your wedding plans as well. And at the end of the session, there will be an open Q&A. So if you're not feeling confident about asking questions at the start or during my official questions, you can leave them to the end. But we do highly encourage questions throughout because, like I said, we can help you with plans as we're going through this video. So A little bit about myself and why I've decided to do these Facebook Live interviews. My name is Oscar, and I started the Wedding Guru Oscar back in December of 2019, just before coronavirus, which is obviously quite a touchy subject for a lot of us in the industry and for wonderful wedding planning couples. But it's actually been a fantastic start to the business, and I've seen so many wonderful couples actually entrusting me with their plans, which is amazing. And before that, I have been involved with the wedding industry for over 10 years. I have started back in 2009, and for the first 4.5 years of my career, I was responsible for the operational and logistical running and delivering weddings on the day. I was looking after couples from the moment of arrival, bridal preparation, all the way through the food service, the speeches, the first dances, and also to the moment guests disperse to their beds for their very well deserved rest at night. After that 4.5 years, I landed my first role in wedding planning. I was looking after 4 properties and 75 weddings for them throughout the Edinburgh city centre. And a year later, I landed my big managerial position with a luxury brand of 3 luxury venues in Edinburgh city centre as well. It was at that time that I looked after couples from the moment of inquiry through the entire wedding planning process, your menu tastings, your final details planning, your individual consultations, and also on the day coordination as well. And it was probably the biggest highlight of my career, planning weddings with couples. And I have been honoured by couples to have been nominated for 4 Vows and Scottish Hotel Awards in that time as well. And it was during that time that I've been very fortunate to contribute to publications with the biggest wedding blog, Love My Dress, and also the biggest Jewish wedding blog, Smashing the Glass. Also publications with the Scottish Wedding Directory, Tidying Up Scotland, Luxury Scottish Weddings, and also Mass Scotland Wedding as well. But enough about me. That's not the reason why you're here today. You are here to hear from the industry expert Laz at Aristocracy London. So I'm not going to delay it any further, and I'm going to introduce our guest. Laz, I'm just bringing you up to the screen just now. Welcome. So fantastic to have you with us. I'm sure many couples are excited to hear from you. And with the first question, I'm not going to delay any further. Could you tell us a little bit more about yourself, about your brand, what Aristocracy London is about? We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you very much, Oscar. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining this live session today. So my name is Laz Styrakidis, and I'm the founder and CEO of Aristocracy London. Thanks, Oscar, for the nice words that you already mentioned about our brand. So the story begins many years ago, I got to say. So I was born and raised in a small village in northern Greece. So probably you can tell from the accent, might be, it's all Greek to you at some point, but I'll try to make things very clear. So, as I said, I was born and raised in a small village in northern Greece where most families still live off the land, I would say. So from a young age, I would notice the people around me come after a long day of manual labor and, just put on their finest clothes to meet friends, family in the village square. So that wasn't about showing off. It was a deeply rooted sense of pride and respect, both towards themselves and their community, I would say. So actually, people dressed up to celebrate togetherness. So as the years went by, all of a sudden, as you can imagine, after that kind of, whole setup, I developed a taste of fashion and specifically suits. I love suits. So 10 years ago, I moved to London, worked my way up and ended up being working as a digital marketing director in large corporations. So the thing that struck me out in both, white collar jobs and my social life as well, was that when it came to the sartorial choices, most men played it safe and ended up being just another suit, in the office, in the restaurant. So, my perspective of that is looking good should be a pleasure and not an obligation, but suits simply lack personality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how everything started with Aristocracy London 2 years ago. So what I was thinking and what I did is I combined my sense of style and passion about suits I had since the young age, with the creativity that comes from this marketing background. So I put this whole recipe together just to create this business adventure, a superior suit brand.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Brilliant. That's quite a story. And actually, something important you've mentioned there in your introduction is the fact that a lot of people, a lot of business people in the UK play it safe with suits. And before meeting you, a lot of the time I was actually buying suits from Turkey because I
Yeah.
find them a lot more adventurous and a lot more colorful, and they mix and match things together for suits, which makes it very interesting and vibrant. It just shows off the character of the person and individuality. And then I've obviously met yourself and I've learned about your suits, and I'm completely impressed about them because for occasions like a wedding, you want to look the part, you want to feel unique, you want to feel special, you want to um, highlight the fact that it's the most important day of your life. So I absolutely fall in love with your brand and the suits that you produce, which is absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. Great. Guys, we are live in my Facebook page and the group as well as on YouTube today. I see quite a few faces already joining us. We've got Dougie. Hello, Dougie. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. And like I said at the start of the video, guys, we highly encourage questions. We highly encourage engagement from yourselves, because the more questions you can ask of Laz, the more helpful he can be for yourselves, the more relevant we can make this session for your wedding planning. We've actually got the first question for you, Laz, and I'm just going to bring it up on the screen. When is it best to go wedding suit shopping?
Well, that's a very good question, and I have to say that lots of people and lots of couples actually ask this question: when is it a good timing to do that? The answer is that there's not a specific time that has to be done, but there is a kind of a range of a timeline. Ideally, what we recommend to the couples is once they have a sort of a theme in mind, or once they have picked up the venue or the wedding planner that they would like to work with. Obviously, after that point, they know that what type of wedding theme and style they would like to create. Based on that, it's safe to go for your suit shopping. So you can start the whole journey even 12 months in advance. We highly recommend that. It's something that you definitely want to tick off from your shopping list, because obviously there might be some other things that are more time sensitive later on. So definitely, starting 12 months in advance, it's fantastic. I mean, with regard to our brand and our suits, I mean, our designs are ready made. So it's not something that you've got to place an order and wait for a few months to get delivered. But even if that's the case, you still want to, just do something that, tick it off from your list and just proceed with the rest of it. So
Brilliant advice.
yeah.
And something that popped into my mind right now, Laz, actually, if you say get a suit 12 months before the wedding, would you say it's quite easy to alter it if there's any alterations required? How would you go about sizing, stuff like that?
Yeah, definitely. That's actually a very good point, Oscar. The thing with the suit is, and something that we apply with our collection is, you definitely want to find that it's the perfect fit and the perfect size for your body type. You don't really want to go for something that's going to be very slim, very small, or very large, because no matter how much money you spend on a suit, if the size is not right, it's going to look cheap on you,
Yeah.
if you allow me to use this expression.
Yeah.
So the key thing here is the size, definitely. That's why we offer a wide range of different sizes that can match all of the different body types. With regards to the alterations, definitely you go for the size that fits better on you, and if you still think that requires some sort of alterations, that's absolutely fine. The thing with that is, it comes down to the personal opinion as well, and the personal style. There are some grooms that they prefer the trousers length to be a bit shorter, make it more modern. Some others prefer it slimmer. It's down to your preference, how you want to do that. Alterations like that are very easy to be done, so that's not a problem, not a worry at all. Something that we get, because I mentioned earlier about when you should start planning your journey about the wedding suit, and it was a kind of a feedback that I got from a few couples as well, was that they started 12 months in advance, but when it came down to the suit, they were telling me, and the team in general, I was saying, you know what, actually we're planning to go into a sort of a fitness or fit diet So I might lose weight, or I'm just working out, so I might gain some weight, or broaden my shoulders and all this kind of stuff. So if you have plans like that, and you would expect your body type to change completely after a few months, then we definitely recommend that you come for a suit fitting or go through the whole shopping experience when you think that this is where I am. And
time.
definitely, yeah.
It's interesting as well about your brand. You've mentioned this already. You only do 100 pieces of each suit. So it is important, if a groom is fallen in love, or his groomsmen have fallen in love with a certain design, it's good to get things organized at that point, because the likelihood of that design coming back is very slim. You're a very exclusive brand for that respect.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's something that we do recommend to all of our customers as well, because they're limited edition. This is actually our commitment. We don't believe in fast fashion. That's why we create this kind of limited edition, only 100 pieces per design. And our commitment is that because we use exclusive fabrics and exclusive sewing techniques, once they're gone, they're gone. So we highly recommend, when people want to buy something, at least to buy it now, because they sell out really fast. And to avoid disappointment, it's something that they have to reserve at the end of the day. Because I think most of the grooms and the couples, when they really like the idea of knowing that it's going to be myself and maximum 99 more people in the world wearing this design. I'm not going to see it anywhere else. And it's just something that it's really nice, and we want to give that exclusivity.
Brilliant. Fantastic, guys. We've got more questions, but like I said at the start of the video, this session is completely live, so we want to interact with yourselves. We highly encourage questions. I can say that there's plenty of questions coming in, but if there's any questions you would like to ask of Laz about wedding suits, feel free to do that in the comment box below. I've got a couple of more questions from our couples, but I'm going to move on to our question number 2, and then we'll come back to questions from couples as well. So, Laz, could you tell us what's so unique about your brand, and why Aristocracy London is such an exclusive brand?
Yeah, so well, Aristocracy London we're a luxury menswear brand dedicated to the sartorial pursuits of the modern gentleman, a man who likes to look sharp, unique, and suitably attired all times. So what makes our business unique is, first of all, something that we already mentioned as well, is the fact that we create these limited edition suits with only 100 pieces produced against its design. And that comes down, as I said, to the exclusive fabrics that we use, the exclusive designs, and our commitment is to produce up to 100 pieces regardless of demand. Sorry. Another thing, which is one of our unique selling points, I would say, is the fact that all of our suits incorporate all those bespoke details in a ready-made solution. So our concept here and our motto is that you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. But what we're doing is we offer a wide range of styles and sizes to match all different body types, and feature all those kind of tailoring details. All those details you're going to find with Savile Row and lots of other popular tailors, this kind of attention to detail. And these are the details that I'm going to explain later on, about things that you should check on a suit as well. So in that case, people don't really have to break the bank going for a completely bespoke solution, and also waste time after multiple appointments for fittings and back and forth. Sometimes this might take over 2 months. So in that case, that's where we come there. We have this kind of ready-made option, including all of the bespoke details, something that is available that you can either buy on the spot when you book an appointment at our showroom, or something that you can get it delivered within 2 to 5 working days when you place the order online. So I think that's where we fit in.
Yeah, it is a very unique element. Sorry, I've just disturbed you there.
No, that's fine. I mean, I just wanted to say that with regards to my role, apart from the passion that I have in suits, what makes it unique also is the fact that I always think as a customer first, because that's how the journey started. I started this business because I love suits. I was buying lots of suits. God knows how many suits I had in my wardrobe. I love wearing a suit, going into the office. And that was the thing that I was seeing, as we mentioned earlier, that the same thing. It was just another suit in the office, just another suit in the restaurant. So for me, being a customer and looking something that I couldn't find, and especially in the wedding industry, something unique, something stylish, it's a big day. It's a special moment for the couple. So how I would like to be dressed and what type of shopping experience I would like to have, this is something that I applied. We're working with a fantastic team. We applied into this brand. So it's always, having our customer needs in mind and listen closely to their feedback. So for example, I'll tell you something. I love going to our showroom, especially when we have appointments with our clients. I love going there and having conversations with them, getting feedback, getting their preferences, what type of colors they like, what type of designs or new designs they would like to see in the future. If there is anything from a functional perspective that is not working or they would like to see as well. I mean, all these kind of things. This is fantastic. This is very valuable feedback, and that's something that I want to put back into the business because we want to care about the end customer at the end of the day.
It needs to be responsive to what the demand is for, and I mean, you said it yourself. Wedding is a once in a lifetime experience, and although there's so much focus on the bridal wear, I feel like there isn't as much focus on the menswear for weddings. And seeing your brand that you do such unique and such highlighting the special occasion designs, it makes it so much more about the groom as well, and they're catered for obviously within your brand as well. Fantastic, guys. We're moving on quite well throughout our questions. I'm just going to bring up a couple of questions from our audience. We've got a Facebook user, guys. If you're asking questions, make sure that you permit StreamYard to share your name. There's a little link above the video right now. If you decided not to do that, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure your name so that we can respond to yourselves personally as well. But we've got a question from Facebook user, we don't know the name. My fiance isn't sure if he should go for a single or double cuff. What do you suggest?
Okay, that's a good question. No, the situation, the thing with that is there is one simple rule that you need to know when wearing a suit, and it's a kind of a mistake that I see lots of people make. When wearing a suit, and especially wearing the jacket above the shirt, your cuff should be always visible half an inch. Some people believe that if the cuff of the shirt is visible, that means that the jacket sleeve is too short. No, that's not the case. You should always, it's a kind of it's a sign of a fine tailoring and nice styling just to leave up to half an inch of your cuff visible. Now, based on that scenario, if it is single or double cuff, it doesn't make any difference because you won't be that visible. By the end of the day, because I'm pretty sure that the groom would like to show his dancing moves, at some point he would like to take off his jacket as well. Definitely the cuffs is going to be something that would be seen, it would be visible. So in that case, it all depends on the outfit. What I would suggest is when you go for something that is more formal, like a sort of a tuxedo style or a Nehru style suit with a nice matching cravat, for example, then definitely I would say that you can go for a double cuff. If your choice is to go with something more kind of traditional, classic three-piece suit, you can still go for a single, but it doesn't mean that you can't go for a double one as well. It all depends on the outfit and the style that you do, but make sure that when you go for something very formal, you don't make it outperform that by using a single cuff. I love double cuffs personally, to be honest with you, and with a really nice cuffling, it's fantastic. It's another sign of sort of nice style.
Occasion. Yeah. It highlights it. Definitely. Brilliant. Thank you very much. We've got another question from Doogie, and Doogie supplies Kayleys to weddings. So he's asking if a groom's group isn't wearing kilts but are having a Kaylee, which is a traditional, very energetic Scottish dancing, what's the best cut style to be comfortable to dance in?
Okay, well, I mean, with regards to this type of outfit, I've got to say that this is something that we don't provide yet.
Mm-hmm.
However, in terms of the fit, it all depends. It all comes down to the body type. All comes down to the body type on this one, and it's down to the to each person of the groom's group. As I said, the same applies to the suits and the trousers as well. I mean, there are people who prefer really tight, really slim waistline because they love it in such a way they don't really want to wear a belt. it fits better on the posture of the body type. Some others prefer it a bit bulky because they like the way that it's more comfortable. Again, it comes down to the person, how
Personal
comfortable they
preference.
want to feel in that.
Perfect, fantastic. Yeah, Kaylee is definitely energetic. You would need quite a comfort there, definitely. Dougie says he approves. Well done.
Thank you, Jackie. I mean, to be honest with you, that's why we have different cuts that applies to all of the different garments, right? You have the slim cut, you have the tailored cut. In our case, and it's something that I think it works better in lots of different body types, we go for a tailored slim, which
Yeah.
means that it's not that slim as the skinny version, but it's not that loose as the tailored version. But
Right.
again, it all depends. It all comes down to the body type and how comfortable you want to feel.
Fantastic, brilliant, great, guys. There's plenty more questions, but I'm going to move on a little bit with our interview to the next official question for Laz. So, Laz, is there anything you've been particularly proud of in your career this far?
Okay. Well, I mean, I've got to say that, what we have achieved as Aristocracy London within its first 2 years is remarkable, right? I mean, within its first 2 years, because it's a brand new luxury brand, but we've done lots of things, and I'm very proud of the team and the way that things perform. Even though we had this pandemic situation that I'm pretty sure that everyone suffered, and trading was a bit difficult at difficult times for everything. Even though that was the case, I'm still satisfied with the brand, the way that it progresses. I mean, in terms of the things that we achieved, we opened our showroom back in February 2020 in Knightsbridge, in a lovely area, just minutes from Knightsbridge tube station and Harrods. Really nice, lovely neighborhood. And what we want to do with that is we wanted to give this luxury, personalized experience to our clientele. So even before the pandemic situation, our business model that we have one-to-one meetings with our clientele. You book your hour session, you enjoy a cup of tea, coffee, prosecco, whatever you like, and our team is there to help you with any sort of styling questions. You go through the whole fitting, you see all of the designs, you try them on, and you can still buy whatever you like. So even when, after, during and after, I would say, the lockdown, I mean, it didn't change our business model because it was exactly like this. We didn't want to have this kind of a walk-in store. We wanted to
Yeah,
give this luxury experience. The only thing that
exclusivity.
changed, I've got to say, is that the measurements that were taking place, such as wearing the face masks and the hand sanitizer,
Yeah.
which is something, it's a must nowadays. On the other side, I mean, I mentioned earlier that I really like and getting this kind of feedback from users, from clients. And the first thing that was always mentioned to us was, guys, I love the designs, I love the suits, but how am I going to know what's my suit size? I mean, sizes vary from brand to brand, and also fit changes
Yeah.
and varies from brand to brand. So that was actually because I got lots of feedback, and lots of people were asking about this. So based on that feedback, that was something that we wanted to work really hard on and try to make sure that this is on top of our clientele and everyone's kind of concern. So we want to make sure that we offer a solution here. So what we achieved is we introduced the Sizer, a body measurement app.
Uh-huh.
It's an app that you download on your mobile phone. It's a body measurement technology that uses algorithms, scans your body type. The only thing, it only takes 2 minutes. You just download it on your mobile phone or your tablet, and the app actually scans your body type. The only thing you've got to do is just do a 360, scans your body type, and then it tells you what's your suit size that you should buy from an Aristocracy London suit. And I've got to say
Yeah.
that we've seen, a huge success on that, because people either they didn't want to have an appointment in our showroom because of the lockdown, or because of the fact that they're based, in UK, they
Elsewhere.
won't be able to make it in to come in London. Uh,
Absolutely.
or people that still wanted to buy online, and we've seen over 90% accuracy on the results. Uh, in terms of things that we achieved, as I said, within those 2 years, we became official former partners of 2 football clubs. So our team worked very close with the football clubs, and we designed 3-piece suits that. Thank you, Dagi. I'm just seeing your comment. Thank you very much. So what we've done is we worked very close with the football clubs, and we designed suits for the football players, the management team, and the board based on the football club's identity and history. And those suits actually are going to be available for the public very soon. So the first club that we have already announced our partnership is Leyton Orient. It's a club with lots of history as well, and there is one more football club coming up very soon that we can announce about this. So as you see, there are lots of things going on, and
it's exciting time.
Yeah, I mean, within 2 years, not even full 2 years, that we managed to achieve all of those kind of things. I think
amazing.
I've got to say that because this is our ambition. We want to become the number one suit company or menswear brand in the UK very soon. So I think we're going very good, fingers crossed, in the right direction. But again, there are lots of other circumstances that we need to take into consideration, which sometimes it can, could be out of control. But I'm very glad with that. So yeah.
Amazing. And designs are very, very unique, and that's what makes your brand so stand out and so special as well. Dougie is also saying to our previous question that he agrees with what we've talked about when it comes to the fit of the suit. But he just wanted to make sure that he's on the same page as well. We've actually got a few more questions here as well. We've got Catherine joining us from White House Flowers, which is one of my recommended florists. And Catherine is asking, what's the trend at the moment? I prefer a man in a tux rather than a kilt.
Yes, it all comes down to the wedding style and theme that you would like to have, I would say. If you still want to go for the traditional Scottish, wedding, I don't see the reason why not to go for a kilt. I mean, you still have lots of different designs, different patterns, different colors. You can style it in a different way, and you can still look unique. All comes down to the wedding. Well, I see that you prefer a man in tux. To be honest with you, it depends on the style of the wedding that you would like to have. I mean, there are lots of people who sometimes they don't really wear suits, and they have to wear a suit because of the wedding, or they prefer to go for a kind of a more traditional type of thing. In that case, we have seen that they go for for the business and lounge three-piece suits that we offer. There are also couples that they want to give this kind of luxury and formality into the wedding. So in that case, they go for a tuxedo. The good thing with a tuxedo, which is something that I prefer as well, the good thing with a tuxedo is that you can wear it for your wedding, but you still have a very nice formal suit for any other special occasions. Could be a event, a Christmas party, whatever.
Brilliant, fantastic.
So both are fine. It all depends on the occasion and the theme that you want to apply. The good thing with the tux is that you can still wear it for another occasion.
Brilliant, fantastic. And I think it comes down to personal preference on that one as well. We've actually got another question about the subject of suits. So a Facebook user here is asking, what do you recommend, a 2 or a 3-piece suit for the wedding day?
Okay. Well, I mean, my answer here is definitely 3-piece suit, and I'm going to tell you why. Lots of people might say, 3-piece suit, especially when the wedding is during summer, might be too warm. Definitely not. A 3-piece suit, actually, a suit is it's that kind of combination of all of different garments that makes the whole outcome look great. A 3-piece suit is fantastic because during the day, you want to look the most stylish person, right? And the 3-piece suit will help you with that. First of all, having a really nice matching waistcoat with a jacket. And secondly, by the time that you take off your jacket, because as I said earlier, the groom might want to show off his dancing moves, or it gets really hot and you still, you do want to take off your jacket. In that case, you still have the waistcoat on. And that's why we pay attention. I mean, our attention to details on our waistcoat is very, very specific because we want them to look unique, sometimes with the lapels or different kind of, adjustment buckles and stuff like that. Because this is going to be the item, the garment that will still make you stand out. Otherwise, without the waistcoat, you will end up being, a person wearing a white shirt and a tie in the whole kind of reception or party area.
Brilliant. Fantastic. We've got fantastic feedback, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. I was actually interviewing Jade from Crystal Bow's Bridal Boutique last week, and she's saying another fabulous interview. Thank you very much. Laz was super excited to join us today, and I'm glad we've been able to connect and do this interview as well. There's plenty more questions, but we're going to move on to the next official question. So, Laz, could you tell us what should the grooms be looking for when they're shopping out for suits for themselves and for their groomsmen?
Yeah, I think there are three key rules here that they should, or three key questions that they should ask themselves when they go for shopping on things like that. First of all, if there is a theme, what is the theme of my wedding? Because your suit should match your wedding theme and venue. You should match the bridal wear dress as well. So this is why you need the brand like our brand, Aristocracy London, that can offer a wide range of options.
Yeah.
Could be a tuxedo, could be a white Nehru style suit, could be lots of different options, and everything comes down to the way that you want to style it, with a wedding venue, with the florist, the colors, and the mood board that you would like to use that. So the first question here is that, is there a theme, or what type of theme I would like to apply that? Is it a kind of a red color? Then you go for colors or tones that are very close to the red colors. The second question is, do you want to buy a suit that you can repurpose? Obviously, it's quite similar to the question that we answered earlier. Some grooms actually take the opportunity to choose a wedding suit that is truly special. So something that will stand out on the day and in the wedding photos. Other people, they feel, very strongly about investing in a suit that they can repurpose. So in that case, a classic navy or a black tuxedo is something that you can definitely wear again in lots of other, black tie occasions and special occasions. Something I would like to say on that is that for that reason, because getting the feedback from our clientele and the people who would like to buy a suit, we introduced, as part of our new collection, we introduced some series, some designs that they come with double lapels. These are the Hamptons suits that we have on the website. So what they do is they come with double lapels, so they look very formal for the wedding because they come with a free matching cravat and the waistcoat, really nice patterns and colors. But that kind of double lapel, after the wedding, you can remove the front part of the lapel and you still can have a plain navy or plain black suit that you can wear in the office or for any other occasion. Those lapels can be easily be put back in. It just requires a tiny tailoring alteration, just 2 stitches, and you can put them back in. So in that case, you have a suit that you can repurpose.
So it's giving you quite a lot of freedom and quite a lot of flexibility with that, which is great.
Exactly. And the third question is, what about the wedding party? Something that you need to ask about your wedding. This is something that I would say that it's something for you, for the couple and the groom to decide. Some grooms want the entire wedding party to wear the same outfit. Some others opt out from the same outfit but prefer sort of a quite similar and different colors. Or some others, they just give no pointers whatsoever. I mean, the last option can have very mixed results. So, both in the wedding photos. So I would strongly advise you to be specific. Obviously, you can't dictate what they should wear because of the circumstances, but you can give a sort of a tone or sort of a few ideas of the colors or the styles that you would like to, go with.
Perfect, fantastic, brilliant answer. Thank you very much, Laz. Before we move on to the next question, there's actually a few questions from our listeners today. And the question I've got here is about the suit color. So would you say that a white suit is a no for the groom?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I wouldn't say that the white color is something that the grooms must not wear. I mean, in our collection, the most recent one, actually, we have 2 or 3 plain white, well, with a few patterns as well, suits. And I'm going to say that they're quite popular. Definitely no. The key thing with a white suit is you don't really want to have the guests wearing a white suit because we don't want them to overperform or, because at the end of the day, the main people that should be on the stage, the main people that should be on top of the views and the sides, so is the couple. So in that case, yes, they can wear the white one, definitely. I mean, especially when brides don't really want to wear a white bridal wear dress. I would suggest definitely the grooms can go for a white option. Something else that they need to consider on that is also it comes down to the color of your skin as well. How dark or light color skin you have, because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you match everything in a nice kind of color combination, and you don't really want to make it dull, light, everything white.
Yeah, because it can be very clinical that way as well. I see
Yes.
what you mean,
Yeah.
definitely. Brilliant, guys. There's more questions coming in as well. Like I said at the start of the video, we are going live in my Facebook page, in my group, and also on YouTube today as well. And the more questions we can get from yourselves, the more questions Laz can answer for you in your wedding planning journey. And we highly encourage questions in the comment box below. So go ahead and ask questions throughout as well. There will be an open Q&A at the end of the session. So if you want to keep your questions for later, that's absolutely fine as well. So we're going to move on to the next question, the next official question. Laz, what surprises you about your brand, your business overall?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm going to say that the main reason that this business started, and it's something that we already touched on a previous point, is that when people wearing a suit in the office or on an evening out or even a special occasion such as weddings, the thing that struck me as odd was that when it came down to the sartorial choices, most men played safe and ended up just being just another navy suit in the office or whatever. So that's why that's the main reason why Aristocracy London exists, and we started this business adventure. So we created that, having this kind of three key values in our products. Excellent craftsmanship, sort of a flattering fit and elegant individuality, because we think that suits can be styled for any occasions, wherever you go. So you need to wear something that will turn heads, reflect your status, and boost your confidence. Now, having said that, what surprises about the whole, I would say about not the business, but I would say about the industry, the fashion industry, and the people, the way that people see or understand the suits, is that there is a kind of a common mistake that lots of people make to judge the quality and the price of the suit by saying that it only matters about the fabric, which is not always the right way to do. I always use the example of buying a nice luxury car here. When you go to buy a Ferrari, you don't buy it because you don't pay actually that value because it's red color and the external material is very solid, whatever it is that. I mean, you also pay for the whole attention to detail, the interior design, the speed power of the engine, all of these kind of different things. The same applies for the suit. I mean, it's not only the fabric, the quality of the fabric, definitely it is, but it's not only that would make the value and would make a good suit. It's also all of these kind of fine tailoring details that you should have in there. This amount of extra work, this amount of, this kind of attention to detail that make this look better than the others. So, for example, in our case here, with regards to our suits, and it's something that lots of people don't know. So this would be sort of a nice hint for people to check when they go to buy the next suit. Apart from touching the fabric, something else that you should see is that, and something that we apply in our suits is, apart from the exclusive and high quality fabrics, we use all of our suits come in full canvas or half canvas construction. So some people, and I guess the majority of us, would say, what does that mean? What is a full canvas or half canvas? So at the moment in the industry, we have the canvas construction and the fused option, and that normally applies on the jacket of the suit. What is that? That is the extra layer that exists between the lining and the fabric. This kind of layer that makes those two garments, those two things work together, stitch together, and give this kind of the whole outcome at the end. So the full or half canvas is that type of horsehair that you might have seen that normally tailors use. That's between the lining and the fabric. That horsehair actually has a reason. Obviously, it's a very difficult technique. It's very expensive and also takes lots of time to be implemented. But the main reason by doing that is, the more you wear the jacket and the suit, the more adapts to your body type, and then it complements your whole figure. On the other side, and that makes it also last longer, I'm going to say. On the other side, lots of other suits who are in the industry, in the market, they, because of the pricing as well, they want to make something that is, easier, and it's a sort of a more kind of lower price. They use the fused option. So the fused option is actually they use glue. Instead of using the canvas layer, they just use glue between the lining and the fabric. I'm just trying to put it I try to make it very simple for people to understand what's in between. So by using that glue, after you wear the suit, the more you wear it, actually, you will see that it gets more bulky because of the glue. Also, when you send it to the dry cleaners, you will see getting a bit bubbly on top of the fabric because of the glue that gets disconnected. So this is one of the details that you should check on a suit. And there are plenty of other stuff that you can go and check apart from, only the fabric. Definitely the fabric makes a difference, but there are, lots of other stuff that you can check. So just going back to your question, what surprises me about the business or the industry here is that, especially in suits, people are willing to pay more because they want to see just a label that says 100% wool. Yes, that's absolutely fine, but it's not only that. Fred, I've got some issues with the noise at the moment. I can't hear you. Let me try my headset just in case. Sorry about that.
Is that better?
Oh, no, it's better. It's back on, yeah.
I think it was just on my side. Technology always likes to play up. Brilliant, fantastic. Great, absolutely. I think with jackets, even buying jackets or suits, you can tell the difference. But I didn't even think about that before. It's something that you can actually have like glued on or stitched on. You can tell the difference. It's something that I will look out for definitely now going forward as well. Brilliant, guys. We've got more questions coming in, so I'm just going to crack on and ask the question. One of our Facebook users is asking, tie pin or no tie pin?
Okay. Well, personally, I love tie pins when the style is more formal.
Okay.
And we apply tie pins on the cravats that we have. So what I would say here, if you would like to have a sort of a more kind of traditional wedding attire and you're planning to wear a sort of a regular tie, I would say do not overload it with a tie pin. But if you go with something that, especially when it is a cravat or a sort of an Ascot tie, in that case, definitely yes.
Brilliant, fantastic. Thank you very much. Guys, we're moving on to our final official questions before we go to an open Q&A. So, Lance, could you tell us what are the top suit mistakes men should stop making?
Good. So, well, I would say there are a few things that we need to have a look here. People need to be aware. First and most important is the fit and the size. As we earlier already mentioned, is that even if you buy something that is quite expensive, if the size is either too big or too small, it looks very cheap. It doesn't work in that way. So you should always choose a style and a fit that would flatter your body, rather than one which will highlight problems, or on areas that you might look bigger or shorter, and all this kind of stuff. Second thing is, your calves aren't visible. As we already mentioned, you should always keep your calves half an inch outside of your sleeve jackets, because lots of people think that I don't really like being visible, but as I said, it's not a mistake. It doesn't mean that your jacket sleeve is too short. You should always leave half an inch, and that makes it a kind of a nice kind of styling testament on this one. Something that I've noticed a lot is most brands, including Aristocracy London, what they do is they will stitch up pockets, vents, and labels onto blazer sleeves as well. So another common mistake lots of men make is not to stitch those unless they take the suit home, because you want to make sure that you stitch those before you wear the suit. I mean, the main purpose of that is, while the suit is on sale, obviously we want to make sure that everything is kept in shape, everything is it's perfect, from its original condition. But when you start wearing that, make sure that you unstitch those type of things.
Yeah, I can see that quite often. It's actually something that we always have a giggle with my husband George about when somebody stands in front of us and they've got that cross stitching on the back of the jacket. So yeah, definitely something to look out for.
Especially on the vents. I mean, that's why we have the double or the single vents blazers, right? Is to give this kind of freedom, to give this kind of nice fitting as well. I mean, it makes no sense to keep the stitches on. It's something that needs to be removed.
And it stands out.
Definitely. Another common question and things that I've seen people doing wrong is, I wear a 3-button jacket. How many buttons should I do, or how many should I leave undone? So the rule here, what applies is that the bottom button of your jacket and your waistcoat should be always left undone. And you should always unbutton your jacket completely when you sit down, right?
Yeah.
So this will ensure that your suit always flatters you, your shape, and maintains you smart and sort of smart aesthetic. Now, someone might ask, okay, if it is a 3-button blazer, what do you do? The first, if you want to do your buttons, you should always do the first one, the top one. The second one is optional, but the bottom one, you should always leave it undone in that case. If it is a tuxedo or a dinner style blazer and it has only 1 button, in that case, you can go with being done, or when you sit down, you can have it undone. What I would say is that when you wear a 3-piece suit, you do want to show off your waistcoat as well at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So I would recommend that you don't really need to do the whole, to do the buttons, because you still want to show the waistcoat is something really nice that will look very, you're going to still look stylish. So in that case, you can definitely go with that option. Something else is about the pocket square. So your pocket square and the tie, they don't really need too much. And when I say they don't need too much, is they don't really have to be the same fabric, because you see in the market that the people, and the companies, they sell matching ties with the same fabric, same color, same material, with the matching pocket squares. No, that's not the rule. You don't really need to match it completely. Yes, you definitely need to have a sort of a balance in terms of colors there. But you can still wear, a pocket square that matches the secondary colors from your outfit palette. So it's not the rule that tie and pocket square should be always the same. No, that's a myth. Another thing is the jacket shoulders. How should that fit, right? I mean, the key thing that you should always check, and in general I would say about the jacket, is first of all is that the seam of your jacket shoulder should be the end of your shoulder, exactly where it meets the arm, right? Any sort of buckles or wrinkles in this area, they draw attention to the suit's bad fit, and it makes you look like you borrowed the suit from someone else with a different body type. Let me put it. A very quick thing people that can do when they wear a jacket, just to check that the size is good, one of the checks that they can do is they can still do the buttons, and they try to fit those 2 fingers in there. If it fits, and it fits well, then it means that you have enough space, and that's the right fit. If you see that there's too much gap between your fingers and the blazer, it seems that the blazer is too large. If you see they don't really fit in there, then probably you need to go 1 size up.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, so I think these are some key things that they should, keep an eye on and should always check with.
Very interesting, and a lot to learn as well. It's something that I will pick up on as well, and I'll probably rewatch our session today to make sure that I stay on the etiquette of suits going forward as well. Thank you very much. It's been absolutely fantastic. Right, guys, before we move on to the open Q&As, Laz has actually organised a little video for us on how to find your suit size, something that I'd want to share with you up on the screen. So I'm just going to put the 2 of us up on the screen, and I'll make sure that we've got the video shared. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say that this video is from the body measurement app that we introduced last month. So.
Okay, and let's hope that the audio works, because the last time I tried it, it wasn't, and I really hope that it does. If not, I can share a little link for the video afterwards in the comment box below, but let's give it a wee shot.
Aristocracy and hit enter. Your size will appear on the screen. Now return to the website and buy your new suit with confidence. That's it.
Okay. Right. I'm bringing the two of us back on the screen, and we're going to go back to questions and answers. Okay, perfect. I don't think the audio was working, guys, so I do apologize about that. I will make sure that I share the link to the video in the comment box below after we finish today, so you can go back and check out and make sure that you can download the app. But I think it's kind of giving you a gist of things, how things work, and how it can be helpful. Dougie actually says looks easy to use, so that I suppose is the objective of it and helpfulness of it as well. We've actually got one question already, and this might be controversial, and you might be biased, Laz, for that one, but I'll bring it up on the screen. My fiance wants to wear a kilt, but I like suits. How can I convince him or compromise?
Okay, well, I mean, from our perspective, what I would recommend is, because we don't do kilts at the moment, I'm afraid I would definitely recommend that we should try to join forces and convince him to go for a suit. No, the thing here is that I do get his point that he wants to go for something like this, and sort of something that follows the tradition as well. But what you can do to try to convince him is probably not go through a kind of a traditional three-piece suit. Perhaps go for a three-piece suit that has sort of different style, something that comes with this kind of Nehru style, this kind of Mandarin collar style, something that would look different, unique, but it won't be a kilt. So in that case, you don't really want to convince him to go with a traditional classic lounge three-piece suit, or even a tuxedo. You can go for something different. I mean, in our collection, to be honest, we have some suits, three-piece suits which are with a tailcoat, a modern version of a tailcoat, because we wanted to go with something more modern, not that long and rounded. So there are lots of other different options which are not going back to the classic suit, that you can still. I think it would be easier to to go through that route to convince him.
I wonder, yeah, because it is interesting. I think a lot of people go for kilts because they're so different, but
Yeah.
actually with a lot of the suits you've got, guys, in your range, and I'll bring this one up on the screen just now, they stand out, and they make that very unusual, that very special look for a wedding, again, to highlight the occasion. Oh, there we go. Tiggy actually made another suggestion. Suit for the day, then change into a kilt for the evening. One of my couples did that last year and wowed the guests. Fantastic. I think that's a brilliant compromise that will make both of them happy as well. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tiggy, for that. Okie dokie. Well, before we finish up, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about how I could help you with your wedding plans. My idea of wedding planning with independent wedding planners is that we work to dramatically reduce the time you spend on your wedding planning. If that would be something of interest to yourself, I've actually got a free guide available up on the web, and the link for that is available on the screen right now, which is bit.ly/Oscar/mistakes hyphen mistakes hyphen to hyphen avoid. That is a completely free guide of 3 mistakes to avoid in wedding planning that could cost you quite a lot of time and potentially budget as well, which you can avoid if you familiarize yourself with that guide today. It's just an email address that we need for this, and the guide will be completely free of charge, available for you to use as well. In terms of how I support wedding couples with their wedding plans, it is quite a range of services, anything from 1 hour individual consultation where that could be support with sourcing a venue or sourcing a supplier, or a consultation on a wedding plan. 60% of the market nowadays plan the weddings themselves and might want that expert advice on the final details plans. I've worked with a couple before, and they said it was like a sanity check for them that they had confidence in their plan after we've spoken, and they had a couple of things to finalize, and it just made them feel a lot more easy on the plan as well. I can do on-the-day coordination, particularly popular with dry hire venues and venues that might not have a wedding coordinator available there for you on the wedding day. I could be your right-hand man supporting you through the final details planning all the way to on-the-day coordination, being there to support you and make sure that everything happens as per plan. And then obviously you've got the full wedding planning, where I can guide you from venue sourcing, supplier sourcing, entire liaison, entire planning journey, all the way to on-the-day coordination as well. So it's quite a range of services I can support you with as well. If you would be interested in finding out a little bit more about it, feel free to book my 15-minute free commitment-free consultation today as well. I am super excited to let you know, guys, about my next interview, which I'll be hosting on Thursday, the 17th of September at 6 p.m. I will be hosting Andrew, Goose's Quizzes, who has come up with a fantastic alternative activity engagement activity for wedding games on the wedding day, which could be used for the drinks receptions or your wedding breakfast. Andrew is super excited to be presenting his idea to you, and importantly to mention, he's actually one of the grooms that I'm planning the wedding with as well. He's mentioned his business and told me about the idea that he's planning for his wedding, and I just couldn't stop myself to invite him for the interview, because I think it's a fantastic idea to get your guests engaged, involved, and everyone taking part in your wedding planning as well. Finally, there's contact details for Laz and I on the screen right this moment. So if you would want to find out a little bit more about my services or Aristocracy London, you can get the details on the screen just now. We've got the telephone number, the website address, social media handles, and the email address for Aristocracy London up on the screen right now. And you've got the contact details from myself as well. I would like to thank you all for fantastic engagement. So many wonderful questions you have come up with today, and for joining us for this live interview. Laz, massive thank you to you to have put this time aside to share your experience and expertise with our wedding planning couples on the platforms today. Is there any final thing you would like to mention to the couples before we finish up for today?
I just wanted to say that I really enjoyed the whole session, and thank you very much, Oscar, for that. Guys, you had some great, amazing questions. I really like the ideas of the kills. It's something that I always take this kind of feedback from people, and it's definitely something that we will start. I get the design team start thinking about.
There we go.
It was amazing. I love the whole session, and very good spot, very good questions from your side as well. So I hope I answered all of your questions. If you need anything else, anything more, feel free to get in touch with us. Actually, we have our online concierge on Facebook Messenger. It's available 24/7. So any questions about sizing, styling, feel free to ask. We're happy to answer.
Amazing. That's absolutely brilliant. Guys, thank you very much for the time today. If you are watching us on repeat, make sure you comment #repeat in the comment box below. That way Laz and I can go back to any questions you might place in the comment boxes after the session is finished. But the sessions will be available on my Facebook page, in the group, and also on YouTube as well. It's been a pleasure hosting you, Laz. Thank you all for your engagement, and I'll see you all next Thursday. Have a lovely evening, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye, guys.